two things that I think that you have to know before you go to Indiana is about, first off, the Indianapolis 500 and NASCAR. You can bundle those in two. And you need to know about the Colts, because one thing that I've realized is people in Indiana, they love their Colts and they love their racing. The Indianapolis 500's probably the biggest race on TV. And, the Indianapolis track is right downtown in Indianapolis. And everyone always talks about, oh, I can't wait till the race comes, because I served right next to the track for 10 months of my mission, like in the area where the track was at. And, it was a big economic boost to the people of Indiana. That the race would come along and it'd bring in tons of revenue, and people often look forward to this race. You know, I got to see how really their economy depended on that race, and also this company called Eli Lilly. I don't know if you guys have heard too much about Eli Lilly, but it's this pharmaceutical company, and one thing that Eli Lilly has done is it has brought a lot of members that aren't from Indiana to Indiana to work for this big company. And a lot of people think of corporations as bad, but this company has brought a lot of members to do a lot of great missionary work here in Indiana. A lot of members are at the head of this company, and it's a really big deal. It's really what makes their economy go. That, the race, and the Colts. Also, you can't think about Indiana without thinking about corn. For the most part, I served in the city, but most areas that you're going to serve in Indiana, they're going to be surrounded by cornfields and soybeans and all of these different types of farms. But the people there are really humble. They're really nice, and they're often willing to help you in anything that you do. They're really, really humble. And that's one of the things that I've noticed about the native Indianans, if that's what you want to call them, is they're humble people. They'll invite you in their home and they'll feed you, and they'll try to give you some sweet tea. Don't accept it, but they're really great people. One thing with the weather is I've had my hottest summer in Indiana and my coldest winter. One time in July, it was 120 degrees with humidity. And, if Satan lived anywhere, it was right there at that time. But also, I've had my coldest winter in Indiana, too. I had a companion, he's from Alpine, Utah at the time, and, we were walking. It was 8:50 at night. We were about to get picked up. Someone was going to give us a ride home. But it was negative 25 degrees. And, he just looked at me and he's like, Elder Davis, this is the coldest I've ever been in my life. And, I'm from Southern California, so that is definitely the coldest I've ever been in my life. But one thing that I realized is that the Lord really, really helped you get through those times. Before my mission, I'd have thought that, if it's under 32 degrees, I don't know how I'm going to survive. It's just time to go inside. But, it was negative 25 degrees and we were still out. We were still working. And, I feel like the Lord really, really helps you stay heated at those times or stay warm. I know He helped me. And, one thing about the food in Indiana, it seemed like almost every meal I had corn. Had corn and had bread. It's funny because in California where I'm from, it seems like with every meal people have rice. But in Indiana, everyone has corn, everyone has bread. And that's almost with every meal. Bread and butter. And I'd say that's one of the big staples of Indiana. One thing about Indiana that I realized was that, there's trees everywhere. It's really green. It's probably one of the greenest states that I've seen. They have like little water deposits everywhere. Looks like there's little creeks and ponds just about everywhere that you go. But there's geese. There's geese and ducks everywhere, all throughout the states. All throughout the state, they poop everywhere, and at first you see them, all cute geese. Let's feed them some bread, and you feed them bread for about the first 6 months of your mission. But you step in so much geese poop by your year mark that you can't stand geese. There's geese poop all over all your shoes. I know this sounds horrible, but this is what goes down. There's you almost can't avoid the geese poop, because if you did, you'd be looking down all the time and you wouldn't be able to contact anyone. So it's just everywhere, and everyone gets a little on their shoes. It's almost just like stepping on grass after a while.